Bobby, I want to talk about Google today.
I think that it with the emergence of like TikTok and all the different video platforms, I think that the experience of Google to me is not as good. And I know that we've talked about this where like I noticed it where I used to go to food blogs a lot to get all my recipes. And this is why we started talking about this in the first place, I think. Like, I used to get recipes.
Yeah, thanks for stealing my intro. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But food blogs, if you own a food blog, I'm sorry, but food blogs suck now. And it's really, really bad. Like if you just the user experience elements, like you go onto the page and you have to scroll through a crap load of ads. There's pop-ups all over the place. And it's like, you know, that with every food blog you go to, because that's really the best way that they can monetize. So I've started actually looking at Instagram or TikTok or Facebook Reels. Like that's where I get most of my inspiration for recipes now. I think that they're going to have a little bit of a hard time kind of keeping up with the rise of video. They've made it really hard for websites to like put out great content and rank well. It's like there's a lot that you have to do. I think that a lot of people feel that way, especially with the AI stuff. You know, a lot of people use Jarvis now to write blog posts. I've seen that like in my mastermind group. Everybody's like, hey, you know, who's using this? What are we using? And it doesn't put out great content, but it ranks.
Do they keep going down that route where the AI is ranking, or do they start punishing that? You know, because they are on YouTube, right? They're trying to reduce AI generated content. And then that's interesting too, right? For Google being the parent company of YouTube, that YouTube seems to be changing with the times more than Google is. And, you know, they're doing an incredible job of incorporating shorts into their mobile app, even into their desktop app. And so you would think they'd be able to carry some of that over to Google.
I think
it's really interesting because, like, I mean, the big thing we want to talk about today was like, how can Google adapt, you know, and we can talk about any of those things, but I'd like to get your opinion on like how they could adapt. To me, it feels like for a company that's doing so well on the YouTube side to compete and stay relevant and really lock in their place as like the big player. It doesn't seem like Google is doing as well with that. And that's not even talking about the younger kind of generation right now using TikTok as a search engine.
Right. Well, I think realistically, what I think is going to happen, I think Google's going to just continue to kind of have an older audience, you know, people that are in their, I don't know, mid 30s to on up, you know, they're used to using Google. I mean, I don't think that that's going away. I do think that Gen Z clearly is video based and TikTok and Instagram and all those, mostly TikTok. But I think that Google is going to integrate a lot of video or as much as they can in search. I just don't, I don't know how they're going to deal with the AI stuff. And this is just me not maybe knowing from a technical perspective, but they've said they're going to downgrade AI written content. But I see plenty of people that are ranking really well with it in the personal finance space. And all it takes is an algorithm change to make that go away. But they've been saying they're going to penalize it. And I personally haven't seen that yet. And I think that the other thing that is kind of an issue for Google is that it's actually easier to create video content than it is blog content now. And I don't think that was the case years ago, but like videos, like cameras are so much more available. Like I'm using a webcam right now and it's like a DSLR quality webcam. Like that didn't exist several years ago. And I think it's easier to monetize video because all you have to do is say this video is sponsored by whatever, you know, and you got paid for that video. With a blog post, if you want to make money from it, you've either got to do ads or you've got to get affiliate links. You can sponsor things too, but it's just sponsored blog posts typically don't perform as well as like affiliate links in a post or ads on a post. Or it's just a different, I don't know how to characterize that, but the companies don't want that as much as they want video these days. So like the problem is like, if you want to make money, you almost have to have a bad user experience because you have to like shove a bunch of things in the article to make it monetized. And you're trying to balance that with like really good design and UX. And that's just so much more difficult and expensive really than it is just like turn on a video, which is going to be really high quality with cheap stuff. This microphone costs $100 and I've got some lights that are like $200, I think total. And then like, so for like $600, you can just create endless content. I just think like businesses, it's going to be tough, I think, for content businesses to really justify going after Google traffic unless they're already really established.